Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about the debt ceiling and McCarthy and Biden and McConnell and the timeline changes and everything that's going on because there have been a lot of developments and people might start getting apprehensive at this point. Okay, so the first major development is that there is a new timeline for when we will hit the debt ceiling. Looks like it could be as soon as June 1st. Biden has called for a meeting with congressional leaders on May 9th. McCarthy has his budget/debt ceiling increase that nobody wants. Nobody wants that budget. His own party is upset about it. McConnell has basically said, I'm not saving McCarthy. He didn't use those words, but he has indicated that he has little interest in coming in and playing rescuer. So, what is your most likely chain of events here? They have their meeting. It is theoretically possible that Biden and McCarthy work out some deal. Seems unlikely because Biden has to know that any deal that comes through is going to be really hard for McCarthy to get back through the House because he is Speaker of the House, but nobody listens to him. So it's unlikely that he'll be able to unify Republicans behind a plan. So even if some deal gets worked out, it seems unlikely that it would actually pass, and certainly not in a timeline of 21 days or something like that. Okay, so removing that from the list of possibilities and entertaining it, yeah, it could happen, but seems kind of unlikely. What is likely? A nail biter. A nail biter where everything is choreographed, but it's going to come down to the wire. Well, at least it might. Imagine a clean debt ceiling increase, no budget attached to it, passing in the Senate. Could happen. There are enough Republicans who understand the severity of the situation. And I would suggest that McConnell's unwillingness to get involved in this has something to do with that. So, clean debt ceiling passes over in the Senate, then it goes to the House, where it just waits. And basically, this goes through right before the debt ceiling is set to be hit, as close as they can manage, because there are probably enough Republicans in the House willing to cross over and vote for that, but they're going to want a show of it. They're going to want to be able to say that they held out for as long as they could, but they had to vote this way for the good of the country, blah, blah, blah. And it will be Republicans that are vulnerable in their next election. That seems to be the most likely outcome. If that happens, I would suggest that Kevin McCarthy may not be Speaker anymore. He put a whole lot of his reputation on this. And now with the timeline change, he doesn't really have time to hammer out a deal with Biden and then get the support through the Republican Party. Because the hardliners, they don't necessarily even want to compromise at all. So he may not get anywhere with them. It looks like McConnell's secret rescue plan is to allow a clean debt ceiling in the Senate without much of a fight. Of course, he would never say that because he's a Republican. But that seems like the most likely chain of events. Again, still possible that Biden and McCarthy work out some kind of deal. It goes back to the House, and the Republicans are worried about their own financial state. So they would go ahead and pass it and say it's a win. Seems unlikely, but it's still possible. But I think the most likely outcome is we're all going to get real nervous as June 1st approaches. And then a clean bill passes, and then they negotiate the budget later. So that's where we're at. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.